asked quite a bit on my community tab, on comment sections, in Q&A videos, as well as on Discord, to sort of give my thoughts, or what are my thoughts, on the whole Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef. And for people that are just not a fan of that side of music whatsoever and have no stock in this, feel free to click away. I want to provide a little bit of a perspective I've not really heard many people talk about, but self-admittedly, I've not really watched a lot of other people's reactions to this, so I'm not going to be biased based on that. Because in all honesty, I think that everything that can be said about that situation has been said in terms of who made the better songs and who's the better lyricist, who's the better diss tracker. I think it is very clear who has won these disputes, both in a sort of publicity way, but also a lyrical way, a musical way. It's Kendrick Lamar any day of the week. But I think there are a lot of things that people aren't really given a ton of credit for when it comes to this dispute, and I want to go over that. Another big reason I'm talking about this is it's kind of transcended what genre you usually listen to or what scene or culture you are. It seems like Kendrick versus Drake has been this widespread beef across the entire sum of the internet that regardless of your age or where you're coming from, what sort of genre you typically like, everyone has been pretty tuned in to what was going to happen next. And that was only exemplified by Kendrick just deciding to go on a fucking victory lap every other day. I don't think this beef was such a huge statement as a lot of people have made it out to be. Let's be honest, if it was anyone else other than Kendrick saying this shit about Drake, I don't think it would be nearly as high profile and so sought after and examined as it has been. Kendrick has been consistently called one of the best lyricists, one of the best songwriters, one of the best rappers of this entire generation, let alone any generation of hip-hop, period. Obviously, no matter what or who or when he goes after something, it is going to be listened to. It is going to be heard. That bitch's B-sides of the B-sides of the fucking Z-sides are listened to. It feels like this conflict was sort of like a straw that broke the camel's back sort of situation, because realistically, anytime there is beef in the hip-hop scene, it's a big deal. Whether you're talking about Tupac versus Biggie or MGK versus Eminem, it's always so big. But the reason I think it's a straw that broke the camel's back situation is because everyone fucking knew Drake was a piece of shit. Kendrick did not put anything on the map that people did not already know. He was already someone that, despite being black, was pretty much putting on blackface for the community to try to fit in, and thought he had bigger credentials than he actually had. Everyone knew he uses ghostwriters. That has been heavily publicized for years on end. Everyone knows he has pedophilic tendencies. Everyone knows he's weird as fuck to his underage fans. This has been so documented, not only from his own words, but video evidence from shows, video evidence that fans have shown in, ways that he has interacted with people over the years. And that is in no shape or form to take away from how excellently written every single Kendrick diss track has been. Also not to take any weight away from anyone who's spoken up about Drake in the past, or will speak about Drake in the future if it came from another artist. I just think anyone can admit that coming from Kendrick, it does hold a little bit more weight. The next thing I kind of want to tack on to that I don't really hear many people talk about is the differences between their fan bases, I think, clashing a lot and making this seem bigger than it actually is. Drake does insane numbers. He has incredibly inflated numbers. He has best-selling albums. He has better-selling albums than Kendrick. He does more streams than Kendrick. He's in more things than Kendrick. But in the streaming age, how many people are you just talking to that live and die by Drake's music? That literally just sit there and say, Drake is the best artist to ever live. He is an incredible songwriter and he makes incredible music. No, he just makes vibes. I have never personally talked to someone that I know listens to Drake that has said that he is the best MC of all time or a great songwriter. And in fact, a lot of the people who listen to Drake, at least by my own estimation, can acknowledge the fact that he kind of just makes fun, vibey, mindless music without too terribly much meaning to it. Flip that side of the coin over to Kendrick and you are immediately met with someone who has consistently, since his inception, been known for having music that touches people's souls, that is very conscious, hip-hop inspired, heavily charged, heavily politically charged, and really does stand for something and put a message out there. Not everyone is going to fuck with that. Not everyone is going to like that. And even if you love Kendrick's music, which I adore Kendrick Lamar as a musician, that isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone is wanting introspection. Not everyone is wanting something that is very philosophical and deep. Sometimes people just want to have mindless music in the background when they're playing Valorant or on the car ride to work. And most of the time, a lot of the people that don't really fuck with the type of music that Kendrick comes out with is going to inflate Drake's music. So to go hand in hand with it meaning more coming from Kendrick, Kendrick's fan base are ravenous. They are hype dogs. They're hype beasts. They're gonna hype him up majorly. They're gonna portray him as the best thing since sliced bread because he is really fucking phenomenal. Drake's fan bases, they're kind of just sinking a little bit, and of course, with how many fans that Drake has, he's gonna have some fucking diehards, but not nearly to the same extent that Kendrick does. If you really do love Kendrick, you adore him as a musician and as a person and his views. People have known that Drake is this type of person for quite some time now, and even most of his fans know that he has either been involved in some shady shit or has ghostwriters or whatever it may be. You know that term like saying the silent part out loud? That has been Kendrick, because there's not really been anyone of his platform in the hip-hop sphere that has gone out of their way to just publicly put this man on fucking blast so pettily. And also, a lot of people aren't even dissecting a lot of what Kendrick's saying. They're just looking at the little buzzwords and things that have stuck out to them, like, I hate the way that you walk, I hate the way that you talk, I hate the way that you dress, or like, fucking trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. Like, these gotcha moments in Kendrick's diss tracks are what's propelling this to be a bigger deal than it necessarily would be otherwise, because take like Machine Gun Kelly versus Eminem, for example. You would have thought that was the biggest thing ever. When Eminem responded with Kill Shot, it was massive. When Rap Devil came out, it was huge. I think Rap Devil has like over 300 million views. I don't even fucking know how many it has nowadays. I don't know how many Kill Shot has, but it really was humongous. And what I'm trying to get at is, don't take this as Drake's career being over. Are people going to always look at him differently or clown on him? Yeah, but Drake, in spite of his numbers, has been clowned on for fucking years now. So many mainstream publications and reviewers just think his music is corny and phoned in and cheesy and cringy, and most mainstream publications don't even fucking like Drake. And so many people, if you just talk to them, they don't really just like Drake as a person. Not saying he's not done good shit, or if you like Drake's music, that inherently makes you a bad person. I don't. The vast majority of rappers have a lot of skeletons in the closet, and it just kind of comes with the culture that you're gonna have some baggage one way or another. It's just Drake's baggage is abhorrent compared to a lot of people, which is funny how we draw that moral equivalency considering how many, you know, hip-hop artists have killed people or raped people or been incarcerated, and yet we're getting up in arms about Drake because he has some ghostwriters and he might be a pedophile. And what I'm trying to draw with that sort of Eminem MGK thing is, don't take this as Drake being done for or gonzo. He isn't. This will die down. The buzz of it will die down. People will stop giving a shit, and it's always going to be known in the musical pantheon, but most people are just not gonna fucking care that much. Especially considering for how big of a statement this is. A lot of the people that just casually listen to music, whether it's Drake or Kendrick or both, they're not really gonna care about the drama of it. They like the music. So ultimately, those are kind of some thoughts of mine on the whole beef. With that being said, what are your opinions of the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef? You can let me know down in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear it. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.